money on my mind. Gotta hustle and grind. Financial literacy always on my mind. I'm stacking knowledge, no time to waste. Gotta invest smart, gotta keep up the pace. I'm reading books, learning all the tricks, studying the market, making calculated picks.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Reckless Ray Dinero, and we are back at it again for another Robinhood portfolio update. Before we jump into it, though, I want to remind you guys, go ahead and hit that like button. Do not forget to do that on your way in. It's a good, easy, free way to support. Shout out to the family over on Blossom. I'm trying to get better about self-promoting, but considering I don't have anything to sell you guys, it's really a pain. But I do appreciate those of you who are coming over from Blossom to check out the video. If you are not on Blossom, there is a link down to it in the description of the video. It's a dope community. It's kind of like Facebook, but you just talk about money. So everything circles around getting to the bag, which kind of fits my MO. And I really like it over there. You learn a lot. You get to have some interesting conversations, a lot of different perspectives. Definitely a little bit of side eyeing for those of us who are coming from the high yield space. It's kind of weird that, but you know, you get to learn a lot. You get to get a lot of different perspective, a lot of bit of different context. There's a lot of different people on there. I'm on there. And it makes for some great conversations, some really good ways to connect and expand your network within the financial space. Also, along with that, for those of you who have not yet, I want to go ahead and invite you to subscribe and go ahead and formally join the Wolf Pack. We got our own little tribe over here. We get busy down in the comments. And yeah, also for those of you who have subscribed, for those of you who are in the Wolf Pack, and for those of you who are already doing this, just a reminder, don't forget to share the video. I do appreciate that, the shares and the people that are getting brought my way. This is grassroots. We're not, obviously, small channel. We're not buying engagement or doing it. I don't even know how to do any of that stuff because it's just me. So I don't know how to do that. I mean, sometimes the algorithm shows me favor. A lot of times it doesn't. This is just me documenting my journey. It's not financial advice. Another disclaimer. It's just a guy on the internet who works a blue-collar job, documenting how he navigates and moves with his money to hopefully get ahead, and you guys get to watch me do that to prove that it works. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We're going to pull up the first screen, go ahead and micro machine myself down here in the corner, and we will jump over there. And the reason we show the Robinhood portfolio first is for receipts, so that people know that this money actually exists. This is actually my portfolio. We check it out every week. This week, I'm recording it, obviously, the night of before Friday. This one will actually launch on Friday. Sometimes I am busy the night of, and I don't get to record, so it ends up coming out on Saturday, or at some point on Friday late, or ends up on Saturday. But I am making sure to do these updates because it's an accountability thing for me. As we're moving through here, we are looking at the portfolio balance sitting at $6,044.96. We've been putting in a lot of work, rolling through some bad times. August and September are historically terrible months for the market. They're down months. So this is an accumulation period. I think, well, actually, it's coincidentally, during the accumulation period, we are preparing to buy to replace my vehicle. I got to trade my car in, which works because I said I was going to give myself 8 weeks to sort that out. And obviously it's going to be through the accumulation period, which is nice. We'll come out the other side of it, see where we're at. I really don't want to have to nuke this portfolio, but this is the portfolio that is on the chopping block should I decide I don't want to have a car payment. So you guys might get to watch me remake this portfolio again. It depends. It really depends. I might actually push out the car purchase a little bit longer. I might eke it out a little bit longer. I don't want to, but I might do it because I don't want to have to eat up any of my current assets with the stuff that I've got going moving forward. We're like actually starting to see some forward momentum. This one's almost getting to $100 a week. Like I would almost rather get this to where we're cranking out over $100 a week and just let it sit in cash in the portfolio to get ready to do something, as opposed to selling off this portfolio. I really wouldn't like to do that. I've decided I don't want to do that. But this is where we are. So what we do is we go through the portfolio because there's some things that are not over and showing on Snowball Analytics, which is the software. It's the equivalent. It's a fancy spreadsheet. Let's just call it what it is. But I like it because it looks nice, puts things in pie charts and graphs so that you guys have something to look at, gives me something to look at, and helps me visualize what I'm doing in my portfolio and with the growth of my portfolio and to project out further into the future. So in the portfolio right now, we've got 5 shares of Hood, which starting on Monday will go up to 6 shares of Hood because we buy 1 share of Robinhood stock a month because we're on the platform and using it and they're making money off me. I want me to be making money off me. Ulti, we have 800.6 shares. We're getting up there. We're trying to get this to 100. We're so close. We have in our holding position for our moonshots, we have Open Door, 50 shares. We're going to be adding another $100 to this. Obviously, we're up over 100% at this juncture, but we're going to be buying $100 a share, $100 a month at minimum until at least the end of the year. At least throughout the rest of this year, we'll get into position there. I want to have around $1,000 invested, provided that I can get in under 10, 15 bucks. Cause this is highly volatile. It jumps, it runs, it sprints, but I want to get over probably around about $1,000. And then if I can get to 100%, then I'll take my initial investment out and throw it into Ulti. Or if I found another position to add to moonshots, my moonshot collection of stocks that I have over here in my Robinhood account, we could do that too. But that's kind of where I'm at with it. I think it's going to end up with a few hundred shares, like hopefully like at least like 300, something like that. And then, I'm going to look away from it until it's around 30 bucks, depending on, actually, it depends on if I take out my initial investment or not. Now, my initial investment, I might take out earlier and let the house money ride. It just depends on how volatile the stock is, since we know where it's going. We'll see. And then last but not least, we have our HOW, HOOW, at 15.43 shares. And that's kind of where we're sitting. Obviously we've got a little bit of margin in the tank, which is another option for the car purchase as well. I could tap into the margin. It's pretty low over here. It's only like 5%. Can't get car loans that low, which is kind of got me. I've got to go negotiate my Charles Schwab interest rate down for my margin over there. But this is also something where if I had a large enough account over here, we could just buy the car out of here for 5% interest and let the margin, let the dividends pay it down, along with like a little bit my cash stipend that comes over here. But we're not quite there yet. We've only got access to about $6,367.83. And I don't want to tap out the whole thing. I would only allow myself to have about 50% of that margin, which would be about, $3,000-ish. $3,000 I'd feel safe pulling out of here. But we're going to see where we're sitting. Moving on over to, actually, I got to pull this back down. So now we can jump over into Snowball Analytics and give the context for what's going on here with the dividends. Distributions, they're not dividends. Let's keep it accurate, people. All right. So what we've got here is, let's see. Add that to the stage. There we go. So we're looking at the snowball analytics over here. And what you can see is the account value is at $5,550.03. We have a total profit of 18%, which is totaling $1,091.95. Passive income is sitting at 86.39%. We're waiting on an ulti dividend. We got a 9-cent dividend, right under 10. I'm factoring most of my projections for my acquisition of ulti around 8%. So if they can keep 10, great. But we're doing our base case for allotments of tokens, or not tokens, I'm acting like I'm talking about crypto. Our allotment of shares of the ETF, our share allotment is based around an 8-cent distribution. And then when we are over 8 cents, we will have a special plan. I'm going to give a line out of how I allocate those funds, because you gotta save up while you can. While you're when you get overpaid, you got to do something with that money that prepares you for if you get underpaid, because this is not consistent. And I base my share allotments on the worst case scenario that I have seen and or experienced. So for me, that's 8 cents. Moving forward, we've got a projection over the next 6 months, over the next 12 months of $4,826.03. This changes every distribution. Monthly, we were sitting at around $402.17, which can't complain about that. Moving on towards our goal of $30,000, it's got us projected to be there in 3 years doing exactly what we're doing now, which is a small stipend that comes in, random side hustle income that comes in, and reinvesting the dividends, because we invest in the dividends. Like that's also a thing. So, we're looking pretty good here. Let's go to our holdings and take a look and see what the numbers say. So on How, which is it's new. It is new. And we are still acquiring here because we switched from Hui to How because it's weekly. And I like the ability for them to reposition weekly versus being stuck in a position for a month and having to deal with that reality of, if the calls go bad, all the calls go bad for the month. Weekly, you can have a bad week. You can have a couple of bad weeks. Generally, all the weeks aren't bad because they can reposition and get in better spots for those calls, and rework the strategy because it's just not dragging over a month. So what we've done is we are looking at, well, let's just get to the numbers. On the daily, we are up 0.85%. Total profit, we are down 8.85% because I purchased this and I did the swap mid-run. Shame on me. The play probably would have been, I don't know, because I would have been tied into the calls that they had on Hui, and I would have been living with that. But with the Roundhill, I like buying down. So right now, this is very much in a buy zone for me. We're probably going to be just putting money into this position because it's down almost 10%. And these are good buys, and it'll bring down my cost average. And then when we swing back up, and it'll swing back up hard. So this is something that I'm looking at going ahead and increasing my position size on. So when I get paid tomorrow, we'll get our stipend in there. We might actually shift off of ulti since we're in the green right now. We're in the green on ulti, and maybe shift this week's buy over into HOOW because obviously we're in a dip. So this is on sale. This is not on sale for me at the moment. We're pretty much flat on this, which is nice. That means we've been getting paid really good. So that's cool. Unfortunately, where it's at is where it's at. So we're kind of sitting on sitting on that, and we'll probably be adding to our HOOW position because I do want this dividend up, and I'm just going to start jockeying the incoming money based on what's on sale. You should always buy. If you're long something and you're going to be holding on to it for a little bit, you should always get what's on sale, in my opinion. So we're gonna do that. Ulti, on the other hand, we are sitting at daily return of 1.5%, which is great because you know what we did today, folks? They pulled the distribution, the price dropped, and then got bought back up. We recovered the NAV erosion. Now all we got to do is just recover like the market being down and we'll be good. But they took the money out and the price is now compensated for that plus some. That means that the NAV isn't eroding due to distributions, just so that everybody knows. So that's got us up 1.5% on the day. We're up 1.92% total return. Again, not on sale here, which is nice because that puts us this gain here, hashtag quote unquote, something I don't normally intend to do, but diversification. This gain here counteracts this gain, this loss here. So it puts us at about even, which is nice. That's good. So in that respect, we're obviously keep cycling these dividends, but we're going to be doing a little bit larger buy than normal on how we might get a few more shares. I'm going to get as much as I can, obviously. And yeah, that's kind of where we're sitting. I'm liking all the numbers right now still. I mean, we're going through a rough patch. Everything is seemingly, the sky was falling everywhere a couple of weeks ago. Stuff's starting to recover a little bit. I think it's going to be bumpy. I think it's going to be either flat, sideways, or we're going to have dips that we're not going to want to talk about. But we're going to talk about it because I'm here every week, multiple times a week. So whatever's going on, you're going to hear about it from my perspective because my money's all in this. So till next week, people. I think that's all I got for you today. That's what we got. That's the update. Simple and straight to the point. Just keep in mind, we are in down month territory. Historically speaking, the markets all do relatively poorly. This is the time of year when it happens, August, September. Accumulation phase. Get your good buys in. Focus on purchasing what's on sale. That's what I'm looking for in my portfolios. Now, I'm not necessarily going out to shop for new positions. But in all of my portfolios moving through this time period, my perspective is I look and I see what's on sale. So Ulti and my Robinhood portfolio is not on sale. So we're going to buy how? HOOW because it is on sale. It is down 10%. That's individual stock has taken a hit. It's also a leverage play. So when it goes down, that's when you want to buy hardest. And in all honesty, for my leverage plays, if they're not down over 5%, I probably won't be buying them. I'll buy something else because they're leverage plays. It's not fun to buy leverage plays up. You let them run. You collect your payments, but you put your money in what's on sale. That's my ideology moving forward. Stuff that I'm long, that's on sale. And yeah, so until next week, this has been another Robinhood portfolio update with your boy, Reckless Ray Dinero, and we'll see you next week.
Money on my mind, yeah. Focus, got no time for games. Nah, I don't play, man, I'm all about that financial literacy. Investing in my future, building generational wealth. Dollar bills, they be calling my name, but I ain't chasing fame, I'm chasing change. Learn the game, now I'm playing it smart. Putting my money to work, it's an art. I'm stacking paper, building my own empire. No more living check to check, I'm getting higher. Investing in stocks, real estate, and more. Gotta secure the bag, that's what I came for.